Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia, home of the Melodious. My name's Azallea, and today, gonna be bringing you guys another Dark Lunalight combo tutorial. So in this episode, we're gonna be exploring a more advanced opening field that requires 2 specific cards in your opening hand and 2 non-specific cards in your opening hand, and this can help you establish 1 spell negation, 2 monster disruptions, and 2 effect negations as well. So that is 5 negations that your opponent has to play through, which is absolutely huge. So if you have not watched the previous episode, which covered a lot of the more basic card interactions, I'd highly go recommend that. But without any further ado, let's just jump right into this. Alright guys, so for this combo, you're going to need 4 cards in your opening hand. The first card that you're going to be playing is 1 copy of S.Monk. The second card that you absolutely need is 1 copy of Lunalight Perfume. Now these 2 cards are the only specific cards that you're going to need to open up with. The other 2 don't really matter that much. The third card that you need is 1 spell card. Any spell card at all can work in this situation. You just need something for S.Monk to discard. And the last card is actually just going to be any card in your deck. Doesn't matter if it's a monster, spell, or trap. As long as you have an extra card to discard, that is completely fine. So typically when you open up with an opening hand, you have 5 cards. So with those 5 cards, you're only really going to need 4 of them, and you're going to generate so much negation on your side of the field that your opponent has to play through that it's going to be worth the investment. So let's just jump right into the combo. So starting off, I'm going to go ahead and normal summon my S.Monk. Now it doesn't really matter what zone that it's in, I'm just going to summon it to the far left. I'm going to go ahead and activate S.Monk's effect, discarding that 1 random, doesn't matter what spell card that's in your hand, and you're going to summon out your Armageddonite here. Now this is very important because this deviates from all the other previous Dark Lunalight combos. Usually in this situation we're going to send something like a Kaleido Chick, but Armageddonite's effect here is going to be used to send a copy of Lunalight Yellow Marten. Now Yellow Marten has the effect where she can search a Lunalight spell or trap card from your deck if she's sent to the graveyard by a card effect. So the card we're going to search out is that 1 copy of Lunalight Serenade Dance that we play in this deck, and that's the only searchable Lunalight spell or trap card that we play, and you'll see the reason why. Now, we're going to go ahead and activate our Lunalight Perfume here, and Perfume's great because it's a monster reborn that can also search, and that's one of the most important things. So we're going to go ahead and summon out the Marten to our side of the field. Now, what we need to do is we need to establish what I call the trifecta in this combo, which includes 1 copy of Perfume, 1 copy of Lunalight Serenade Dance, and 1 copy of Blackwing Zephyros the Elite. Now, in order to access that Zephyros, you have a copy of 4 Strix that you have in your extra deck. Now, before, I was not a fan of 4 Strix and the combos that involved it before the new Lunalight support, but now that we have all these new Lunalights, you know, Emerald Bird, Yellow Marten, we have Serenade Dance, and all these other good things, the potential of 4 Strix has just skyrocketed. So what I'm going to do is overlay the Armageddonite and the Yellow Marten for the 4 Strix. Now it's really important that you use the Yellow Marten as one of the materials. You could use S.Monk, right? You could leave the Armageddonite on your side of the field, that's fine. You just need to end up with 3 monsters that are dark that have different types, because you are going for Curious in this combo. So what I'm going to do here is activate 4 Strix, and I'm going to detach the Yellow Marten. 4 Strix is going to end up in the graveyard, but just in case your opponent tries to disrupt you at this point, you have Yellow Marten in your graveyard ready to go for some follow-up plays. Now, with this trifecta set up, which means Perfume in the graveyard, you have Serenade Dance and Zephyros in your hand, you can start going for a lot of plays that can generate you advantage. So the first thing we're going to do is banish the Lunalight Perfume from our graveyard, and we're going to discard a copy of Lunalight Serenade Dance. You only need 1 copy in your deck, and this is the only thing that it's used for. So the Lunalight Perfume is going to search out the best Lunalight monster in your deck. This is hands down not even debatable anymore. You're playing 3 copies of Lunalight Tiger because Marten with Tiger is just absolutely insane. This combo is something that's really out of like your wildest imaginations, right? Okay, so now what we have is we have Serenade Dance in the graveyard. What you're going to do is you're going to banish the Serenade Dance and you're going to discard the Zephyros from your hand. Now this allows you to go ahead and special summon any Lunalight monster from your deck. And the one that we're going to go for is actually going to be Lunalight Kaleidochick in this case, because Kaleidochick helps us set up our graveyard, helps us set up for the monsters that we need to add back to our hand later. And it's also just great to have Kaleidochick in circulation because of the fact that it provides you so many setup plays. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to activate Kaleidochick's effect, and we're going to send a copy of Lunalight Wolf to the graveyard. It's very important that you make sure Wolf is out of your deck and in your graveyard so you can pick it back up in just a bit. Now what we have access to is we have a Spellcaster, a Winged Beast type monster, and a Beast Warrior type monster, which allows us to go and link summon for Curious, the Lightsworn Dominion. So we're going to go ahead and use all three of these materials on our field to summon the Curious, and now Curious can activate his effect to send another card from our deck to the graveyard. Now at this point, some people might be tempted to send something like Emerald Bird that can revive something, right? Or Kaleidochick if you have Polymerization in your graveyard. But what we're going to do is we're going to send a copy of Lunalight Perfume here. And of course, Curious is going to go ahead and mill 3 cards. Now, if you mill something like Emerald Bird and stuff, that's fantastic here. You can get additional bodies onto your side of the field, which means less cards that you actually have to invest later on. But right now, Curious is just going to mill 3 placeholders, so it doesn't really matter what happens here. What matters is that you have this Perfume in your graveyard that you can go ahead and use to search with. So we're going to banish that Perfume. We're going to discard this card from our hand. It could be any card. This was the card that could have been any monster, spell, or trap. It wouldn't have mattered, right? So now at this point, what we want to go for is a copy of Lunalight Black Sheep, because we need access to Polymerization. Polymerization is very key for the ending field of this board. So we're going to go ahead and just use Lunalight Black Sheep's effect, search out a copy of Polymerization, and now it looks like we barely have anything, right? We have a Curious, we have no graveyard effects open to us, we have a Tiger and a Polymerization. But this is where things get ridiculous because of Yellow Marten and because of Zephyros. So we're going to go ahead and activate our Lunalight Tiger, and we're going to bring back a copy of our Lunalight Kaleidochick to our side of the field. Kaleidochick can go ahead and activate her effect. At this point, you can really send anything that you want to the graveyard. Just keep in mind that whatever you're sending here, you're actually going to be banishing with Lunalight Wolf later on. So as a placeholder, I'm just going to go ahead and send a copy of Emerald Bird to the graveyard. Doesn't really matter, again, what you send at this point. So now what I'm going to do is activate Blackwing Zephyros the Elite's effect. We're going to bounce the Lunalight Tiger back to our hand, and we're going to summon the Zephyros to our side of the field. Now, Tiger, we can go ahead and scale again. Just her effect is once per turn, but only once per turn when it's on the field. So if you bounce it back and reactivate it, it counts as a new copy of itself, so you can go ahead and continuously use and abuse her effect. So we're going to go ahead and bring back a copy of Lunalight Black Sheep here, because we're going to go ahead and set up for a fusion play. So now, when we go ahead and activate our Polymerization, we can go ahead and fuse the Lunalight Cat Dancer with our Kaleidochick and our Black Sheep to go ahead and summon her into one of the markers that Curious points to. Now, Kaleidochick and Black Sheep can go ahead and activate their effects to recover the Polymerization and to recover any Lunalight monster from your graveyard or your extra deck and put it back in your hand. In this case, we're going to add back the Lunalight Wolf that we sent off the Kaleidochick earlier, and this is very important because Lunalight Wolf is what enables one of your later combo plays. So now, at this point, what we're going to do is, we're going to go for a Link Summon. Yeah, that's right, we're going to go for Apprentice Witchling, and you need a Dark Link monster here. Any Link 2 Dark monster works, because you just need to put this Cat Dancer into your graveyard. So I'm going to go ahead and put the Apprentice Witchling right there. Now at this point, you have a access to your Lunalight Wolf, and Lunalight Wolf can go ahead and activate banishing the Cat Dancer in your graveyard, as well as any other Lunalight monster that you have in your graveyard that you don't really need anymore. So Emerald Bird was that card we sent with Kaleidochick that we can just freely banish at this point to go ahead and summon our Panther Dancer. Now, at this point, you're like, okay, well, what is happening here? Well, we have this Link 3 monster that now we have access to, and this is the reason why your Link 2 monster you summon here, in this case, Wee Witch's Apprentice, has to be dark, because the Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardache requires 2+ dark monsters. So we have a Link 2 here and just a regular dark monster over here, so we can access the Bardache. Bardache is huge because of the fact that it can go ahead and give you access to 2 Fog Blades. Knights for no reason whatsoever. So we can go ahead and activate Bartershea, sending our Phantom Knights of Silent Boots to the graveyard to set a copy of Phantom Knights Fogblade from our deck. Now you saw that I also have a copy of Shade Brigandine in there, because if you happen to draw into a copy of Fogblade, it's completely fine. You can search a Shade Brigandine, and that helps you extend your plays. That puts another level 4 body onto your side of the field. So we're going to assume that we don't have any of that though, we don't have the luxury of that, so we're going to go ahead and banish the Phantom Knights of Silent Boots from our graveyard, just to go ahead and search out the other copy of Fogblade. We only play 2 because they're really the only ones that you need. We're just going to set this to our side of the field for now. So really, at this point, we've already established 2 negations on our side of the field, which in previous combo videos you would have seen is fairly easy to do, but now we have set up our Yellow Marten and our Lunalight Tiger to potentially go for even more. So what we're going to do here is we're going to activate Yellow Marten's effect. We're going to bounce back the Lunalight Tiger yet again, because we're going to abuse her effect over and over. Now, we can go ahead and activate the Lunalight Tiger in the Pendulum Scale, activating her effect to bring back another level 4 Lunalight. In this case, Kaleido Chick is fantastic, right? You don't want to really banish the Kaleido Chick for your Lunalight Wolf that we did earlier, because this one copy of Kaleido Chick is really the only thing you have to continuously fuel your graveyard. So at this point, because we banished an Emerald Bird earlier, I'm going to go ahead and send another copy of Emerald Bird to the graveyard, just so she's in circulation. And here we go, we're going to go ahead and summon our Evil Swarm Nightmare. Now, keep in mind you also have access to things like Karen Gorgon, which if your opponent's playing something like Sky Strikers, you have targeting protection from this Karen Gorgon, which is fantastic. But we're going to assume that you're going in blind, and you're just going to make an Evil Swarm Nightmare. The XYZ monster you make here has to be a dark attribute though, because the Phantom Knights of Rusty Bartershea has the effect where if a dark XYZ monster is special summoned to a zone that this card points to, you can target one card on your side of the field and, well, destroy it. So in this case, we're going to activate his effect, and we're going to destroy our own copy of Lunalight Tiger, triggering her effect yet again. We're going to activate it, and we're going to bring back a copy of Lunalight Black Sheep. Now, this seems like a really weird play, but we still have this polymerization from earlier, and what we're going to do is activate this to go ahead and fuse for a copy of Starving Venom Fusion Dragon using our Lunalight Black Sheep and our Bartershea from our side of the field. Now, the reason why we're summoning the Starving Venom here is because it's a level 8 fusion, and it gives us access to Hope Harbinger. Now we're going to go ahead and activate the Black Sheep, and we're going to add that Lunalight Tiger from our extra deck back to our hand. Now this is very important that you do this, not only because you want to keep Tiger, you want to make sure you always have access to Tiger, right? Because her interactions with Yellow Marten and stuff is huge. Now keep in mind, we ordered our play so that Yellow Marten would actually become an XYZ material under the Evil Swarm Nightmare, so that, you know, when Nightmare detaches her, she's sent back to the graveyard. That's why we used Zephyros earlier for material, instead of bouncing back with Marten first. So the order of your plays actually do matter if you're trying to conserve your resources and order them so that you have follow-up plays on your subsequent turns. So we're going to go ahead and scale our Lunalight Tiger, we're going to activate her effect, we're going to target the Lunalight Panther Dancer that's in our graveyard, and we're going to special summon her to our side of the field, and now you can overlay both of your level 8 monsters for a copy of number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy, which can help you negate spell cards and also just help you protect your board from your opponent's onslaught of attacks. So not only do you have Hope Harbinger, you have Curious that can potentially float and get you cards back from your graveyard, you have Evil Swarm Nightmare that can flip 2 of your opponent's special summon monsters face down, preventing link summons, and you have 2 copies of Fogblade right here for you to negate your opponent's monster effects on their side of the field, and that is absolutely huge for a deck like Lunalight's. So now, for your subsequent turns, you still have a copy of Tiger on your side of the field, and you have a Lunalight Wolf as well. If you played more fusions in your extra deck, you definitely will have access to those, right? If you played a Leo Dancer, you can easily, if this Panther gets detached, you can go ahead and just banish the Panther and 2 of the Lunalights from your graveyard, including a Kaleido Chick, which you have as material under the Evil Swarm Nightmare. Go for your Leo Dancer, go destroy your opponent's board, and honestly, if they're trying to play through 5 disruptions, your opponent's probably not going to be left with too much on their side of the field to work with, so it should be a very easy game at this point for you to steal. But anyway guys, that does it for this combo tutorial. It's an insane board. Lunalights are looking really strong, and let me be honest with you guys, the dark variant is much better, as you can see, than the pure variant, because the pure variant has no options like this. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh content, and leave a comment down below letting me know what I can do to improve. And until next time, take care.